Right then, in this video we take a look at the trams in Milan in Italy. Now this tramway is particularly weird as they run modern day trams which are completely knackered and run down, as well as running vintage 1928 trams which are in pristine mint condition. How can a tram that's almost 100 years old be in absolute perfect working condition, but yet their modern trams are completely dilapidated? It's very weird. So, we'll get onto the vintage trams later in the video. Let's start off with the modern trams. And these trams are so dilapidated, it's beyond words. And considering that Italy is meant to be a wealthy Western European country, I've never seen a trams this knackered in Western Europe before. This is the sort of thing you'd expect to see in Eastern Europe or even in Africa. Italy, despite supposedly being a wealthy country, is really struggling in some ways. Also, another thing about this tramway which I found really annoying is that most of the tram route is actually running on the road alongside the cars. And in my opinion, a lot of people probably disagree with this, I don't like tram routes when the entire route is on the road, because it doesn't perform any better than any other road vehicle. In fact, if the entire route is on the road, the bus would actually provide a quicker service than the tram, because there's no point where the tram actually gets to perform how a tram runs best. I feel like tram routes should have a lot of a route off the road where possible, so you get flexibility of the tram running on different modes of route, and the off-road parts is where the trams really perform well. But only a tiny part of the route was actually off-road, where the trams could actually run at 30 miles an hour, because most of this tramway, the bits where it's on the road, only run at 20 miles an hour, which is too slow in my opinion. Anyway, let's go to the off-road parts of this tram route so I can get the trams running at a bit of a better speed. And let's start off with the Adtrans Eurotram. And fucking hell, this thing is knackered. This tram runs up to 30 miles an hour. Then, let's now take a look at the Ansaldo Breda trams. In slightly better condition than the Euro trams, but still these seem quite rough considering that these are a new tram. And despite this tram having a top speed of 43 miles an hour, in most of this tramway in Milan it only runs at 20 miles an hour. Although at this section down south of the city it does actually get a bit faster at 30 miles an hour. These trams have the classic Ansaldo Breda VF drive. break from the trams for a moment and take a look at the trolley buses. One thing I'll point out is the clips I've shown you so far of the trams is where the trams are running on their own dedicated sections of track where they run at faster speeds, because this is the part where I feel it's more interesting as you can feel the trams going faster. But for the vast majority of the tram system, the trams are running on the street within the traffic and actually running very, very slowly, which is not a very good service. But the trolley buses actually provide a better service than the main street running part of the tram system. The trolley buses actually run a lot better and quicker and more efficiently and get you to your destination faster than the trams do. This is because the trolley buses are run correctly of how a public transport should be run, and that is on its own dedicated busway, where the trolley buses can go past traffic, get a nice clear road and run a circular route around the cities, and it's actually really quick and efficient, taking you quickly around the city without going through the centre. These trolley buses run very nicely, so let's take a ride on it. Then, let's now take a look at the vintage trams. There are three types of vintage tram here: the 1976 tram, a 1955 tram, and the 1928 tram. Let's start off with the 1976 tram. This tram runs at 30 miles an hour and is actually in good condition and actually outperforms some more modern trams.
Del traffico legato al maltempo che sta interessando diverse zone della città. Siamo per maggiori tempi di percorrenza. Linea degli Spagna, via della
Let's now take a look at the next type of tram, which is the 1955 tram. And now let's take a look at the oldest type of tram in Milan, which is the 1928 tram. And despite this tram almost being 100 years old, it's in absolute mint condition, runs absolutely perfectly. Despite the fact that new modern day trams in Milan are really knackered, the old trams are still pristine, which says so much about how Italian engineering has changed over the years. This tram has a top speed of 25 miles an hour. Let's ride it.
Esatto.